Do I have a motion to adjourn, executive session?
Second.
Okay. I call the working meeting to order. Oh, yeah, I did that, okay.
You did that.
Okay. Update on road safety concerns for residents request of Facebook. Tina, do you wanna update them, or you want me to on the meeting that we had with residents?
Well, we met with residents and we're gonna try to put together, oh, you have all of this, okay, so Scott Dolson gave us a bunch of really good stuff, I've got it all here. He gave us, what was it called?
The,
Traffic calming?
Yeah,
All this traffic calming data, I'll pass it around, I didn't make copies, I didn't have time. But he gave us all this traffic calming stuff, as well as
areas where he feels that there's a problem.
areas where he feels that there's a problem, and we were thinking about putting out to bid these traffic calming, what would you call them?
Speed bumps.
Yeah, but they had a name, there was a name,
The hump is a speed hump?
no, it was,
Speed humps,
no, but it wasn't, it
speed
had,
bumps.
it wasn't a speed bump, huh?
Ram?
No, hold on. Speed table.
Oh, speed table, that's right.
Speed table, so that's what it looks like. So we had said maybe to try one, to put it out, send it out for a bid, have somebody give us a price on it.
We
And
looked into it though, and it's concrete.
it is.
It's a concrete dip, basically, so, I think that we should,
It's a dip?
it's a,
No,
yeah.
it's a ridge, it comes up.
Oh, is it like the ones on Lowe's? We come up and you come over, right? Okay. So, we're gonna meet again, but we wanna start researching some of these ideas, and this is one of them that we have. I don't know if we're gonna do it or not, we have to first see how much it would cost, what the noise, what it's gonna be for the people that live in front of them. But the two areas that were really, the one by his house,
Right.
and then what was the other, Pace, what did he say, the one on Singingwood,
Oh,
right?
yeah, he said at Singingwood,
Mhm.
that there were those two areas if we wanted to go in this
Singingwood
direction.
what? Where?
And
Singingwood
Washington.
and Washington, like, cause everybody blows through that constantly. So this was one option. A resident also said that I thought was kind of a good suggestion, was that when you see somebody do it, we actually take a little bit more proactive and send a letter saying like, we saw you know, we're asking you nicely, curb your speed. That, I think that's fine, I don't think that's like too much extra effort, and it just at least puts people on alert that they're doing something and they're being seen. So that's another option, and then the other option is to try to resurrect violations, moving violations that we all talked about as well.
Mhm.
Well, that's not a simple
No.
simple solution because of the staffing issues and money associated with that. It's not
Can you
going to
speak
be-
a little louder, please? Can't hear you back there, Jeff.
To get into having our guys do moving violations is a big deal, because it changes, we have to change their legal ability to do that. And in order to do that, the salary structure would be affected, which would be a budgetary thing.
Mhm.
So it's more than we wanna do in the short run. In the short run, you wanna start off easy.
Well, I think in the
Test this
short
out.
run, this might be good, but I think it wouldn't hurt to find out if there's anything. A lot of people did mention that there were people when we were campaigning that were saying, oh, well, if you're not gonna be able to do anything like that, why have code? I mean, there's a lot of other reasons to have code, but I think it might be something just worth kind of dipping our toes in and exploring.
Well, I
But
think that we have enough people for the committee, which is fine, we gave people our jobs, and now that we're back to, meeting monthly, we should meet monthly, even if it's via email.
Mhm.
Get some of these things done, and then we could either send them to everybody, email, or we
Yep.
can just each month give an update on what the committee did.
Yep.
So why don't we start with pricing this out,
Okay.
go from there,
Yeah.
If I could just put two more cents.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we do decide to move forward with this, we hope we can make every effort to have it installed before the winter,
Mhm.
so that we can see how it works out with plowing and how it holds up and the like, because that was a major
That was a
objection.
major objection, and the sound too was also kind of a
Sound.
concern. That's why
Yeah.
Scott kind of volunteered to take the sound hit.
Yeah,
The chickens, yeah.
The chickens, see how the chickens do.
And you would put it on Washington?
I think, I mean, we had talked about putting it, the first one, down Van Brunt, where everybody's like rounding that turn, and there's like that T intersection, and he said he sees a lot of issues every day. I don't know how you feel about that, Frank. The location.
A speed table is not going to correct your stop sign issue. If you're looking to put a speed table to slow traffic down, that's one thing. If you're looking to get people to stop fully at a stop sign, that speed table is not going to work. As far as speed was concerned, we did do that one speed survey with the radar gun on Washington. We didn't find that there was a large amount of speeding cars on Washington. Look, our roads are narrow. Cars travel. When you're standing there, you're standing in your yard, it looks like they're traveling a little bit faster than they actually are. So a speed table, it may not be solving the stop sign problem with a speed table. So that's something, you want to.
There's no, like, appeal to the better side of Poquott residents by having signs that talk about, like,
Well, that's what I
care
thought
for your
that-
village, you know?
That's what I thought, like the
these kind of
letter,
things.
the letter would be a nice.
I think a letter's like a little invasive. I mean, what about like signs as you approach a stop sign that are, like alerting people, hey, like, keep your village safe. Stop the
At an
stop sign.
entrance
I don't know,
way.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, there is that, like, try to do it
Like, try to do it for your
grassroots a
village kind
little
of
bit
thing?
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was thinking with the suggestion of the letter, just so that somebody's a little bit on alert.
and we're gonna, next time we meet on it, it's gonna be a day that you're here so that you can come and then have input too.
Sure.
So, why don't we try and do that before the
Price
next.
that out.
Right, and then get in touch with the people.
Okay.
And then, so we have an update for the next meeting,
Okay.
which is in 2 weeks, so.
Okay.
Would, what's our village speed limit, 30?
Is it 30? Or
30.
20?
Thirty.
No, it's
Thirty.
30.
Okay.
And we had talked about dropping it down to 25.
Right.
But,
I think that's gonna make
Oh, but then we
sense.
did the speed thing, that's what we
It's
said.
illegal.
yeah.
Right,
that was
and then there was
What's
another
illegal?
village that tried that, and had to leave it.
right.
The
And
city,
also-
Manhattan's 25.
Different.
You can only, that's the city.
Oh.
You can only drop your speed limit below 30 miles an hour for a short stretch of roadway, and you have to designate the start and end.
Right.
Passport check, they did it
Oh, wow.
on West Broadway, East Broadway.
But we didn't want to spend the money on the signs too, that was another problem. Every
Right.
time you start changing out every sign, it was.
Right.
So where they had those, just recently I was somewhere and they had the stop signs with that like blinking.
Fort Jeff.
Is that where it is? They did it in Fort Jeff?
Right, apparently people were driving into the
Yeah, into the
downtown.
Oh, that's it, that's where it was.
Which I could not imagine, but Frank said it's quite a few people have done it.
Really? They were just going right in?
Too many alcoholics.
They weren't even, I don't even think some of them were drinking, they just were.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do that for the next meeting. August, okay, update on the gas service. We're still in appeal. We haven't been rejected yet, but we also haven't been approved yet. So every month, they send me an update. I write a letter to the DEC and to the governor, and they are on the letter. They know about it. And I just spoke to Jim, and he said, we haven't been declined, but we haven't been approved. So that'll be tabled again for next
I would
month.
just ask that we put that out somewhere, because we literally.
We have more than enough people. We're like at
Yeah,
40-something
but we
people.
went door to door trying to get people to sign up, and we finally got all these people, and then nothing. And I think that it's good that you're having these monthly communications, even though it's.
Or just put it on the website.
So put it somewhere, so that
Okay.
people know that.
An
it's
update
not
on the gas?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'll send you the last email that I got from PSE&G, and then the letters attached that we sent to.
You want me to just put it up on the homepage as like, we just, for those of you interested, here's this, and then they can click to.
Yeah, and then what I could do is the people that all signed up, because I have the list, which is here, I can send them individual, I'll just send out an email to all of them, just letting them know where we're up
You want me to do the whole thing? You want me to send out the letter?
I'll have to send you, I have the Excel sheet of all the people that are in there.
All right, whatever, either way,
Okay.
just send me that and I'll put it up on the front page of the homepage so that people are up to date for like a week or two.
Okay.
Just for your information, I saw there's starting to be some pushback against the governor's decision to not allow that pipeline.
Yeah,
I saw an article in the Times, and they're saying it's going to have some serious economic effects in New York State. So it may turn out that this is something that is going to eventually resolve itself, but in the short run, as long as he's doing that, PSCG is not taking new customers. The question is, are we new or are we approved, and is there enough volume to feed an expansion?
we're not approved, we're the only
That's not gonna
municipality.
happen. We're not approved. If we're not approved, then they're not allowing new projects to be approved. I thought you told me that we were already approved, and then this whole thing came down, and there was a moratorium.
Yes, but the thing is that it's not like, if the moratorium doesn't open up, we're not getting the gas.
Yes, but they already approved us in theory, I guess, if you want to.
Yes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but then like the week they approved us, the next week got the moratorium. So,
Okay, again, I don't think
so the
people
letters
know
that we're sending now is that we're basically appealing that and saying we should be included in,
Okay.
okay?
So
That's
that should
what
be,
we're
that
appealing.
should be in this
Okay.
book.
I mean, at first, we were only gonna be doing Washington and Chestnut, remember?
Mhm.
We have enough people, for that whole area. We have enough people for,
A mixed blessing, because the more that there is, the more volume that they would have to send this way, and there is no volume. So, you know, we
all those streets that were included are included because it's over 40-something
What do
people.
you mean by volume?
volume of gas,
Oh,
they're saying that they don't have the volume of gas to then go open up new projects.
oh, I
And
see,
so that was,
got it,
that
so
was,
then.
and then it all starts in Pennsylvania. There's a
Mm.
new pipeline that's going to come from Pennsylvania through New York to be able to deal with the greater volumes of gas all the way down the line.
Okay, gotcha. That was their concern.
Okay, next item, village maintenance, so, we have the landscaping, we have snow plowing, we have trimming of the trees, and then potholes, which Mike does, and code, they kind of take care of that. I don't mind taking over the landscaping.
I'll do trees.
Okay, so trees, we're gonna review them twice a year, once in the fall and once in the spring. Okay.
So what were the options?
Snow plowing, trees, potholes. Potholes is already taken in landscaping. I'm gonna call 4D tomorrow and let them know.
Well, snow plowing's no problem, I can take that.
Okay.
So,
So I'll let, Quickway know, and then I'll give you,
Contact.
yeah, and he's really good. Like, if you say we need like sand, like on Chestnut, comes out, you know, you could say, you don't have to plow today, he will come, like, he's really good like that.
Okay.
Okay. And the trees, which I see, next thing is the Maple Avenue drainage project. So the first step is the drains need to get cleaned. Rich has had Jano try to schedule it, they're so backed up with all the rain. He asked if next week Joe can just call them. The guy called him, he was in a bad area, couldn't hear what he was saying. So the guy was trying to schedule a date, but he never called you, right, Joe?
No,
So maybe if we
never
can
from
call
him.
him, we can call, I think it's Joe, or I have his name and number, and just find out if they have a date that they can do that. And then he's meeting with Fasco, he's gonna meet with Mike, and they're gonna start looking at how many drains they need over there, if they're gonna make them bigger, what they're gonna do, what they think the scope of the project is, and then we can start bidding it. So, and he's been dealing with Jerry the whole time.
So that, I thought that was the solution where we just did additional drains was not viable because of this river that was running under the issue.
We have an idea with Zach to drop some dry wells on his property to relieve that problem. So that's what they have to look, but he needs the village engineer to also,
Jerry?
Jerry,
Melman?
Melvin, and Zach were
Right.
their thing, so we were talking about that. So they've been just, really honestly, Rich has been running with this. He's not been home, so he's just called me today and said, just throw it on there. I just need Joe to get the drains cleaned first, that's gotta be.
Well, that would be
the
a
first step.
cheap solution if it turns out that it's viable.
It'll be good enough that we could probably use the money that that we saved from last year, that was in the budget, or that we'll have going forward, so.
That'd be great.
Mhm. And he's hoping to, they have a plan by the fall, and they can maybe even get it done by the fall, so, we'll see. Okay, Tina, you had a resident that had a concern about the flooding on 25A?
A number of them. There were 3, the ones that when we were campaigning, there was, one resident had, so backyard, we had one resident, backyard flooding issues, another one basement flooding issues, and another one front yard driveway flooding issues.
So I don't know, do you know if they did the work at the pond? Because I didn't see any work. I didn't look.
It doesn't look.
Did you look? You didn't-
They were there doing something.
They
and-
were there,
And then.
And I don't know what they did,
Right.
it looks about the same, they were there, but what I wanna do is I wanna contact, I guess, I wanna contact at least these 3 residents, but I'd like to send a letter to all of them, because there's not only the flooding issues, there's people complaining about mosquitoes and, just animals, and it's more than just, there were 3 houses that talked to me about flooding, but then there was other people who had multiple other pond-related complaints.
Did they have any photos or?
No, but
Okay.
that's, and I had sent an email during the campaign saying, get your information, but now I wanna do it formally. I wanna send them all a letter, saying that if they're gonna be able to document their issues when it happens, maybe what the pond looks like, or even just send me an email, it's happening, and I'll go document what the pond looks like. Then maybe we can resurrect it with the New York Department of Transportation as a group, because I think that as much as Rich did, there weren't residents actually, they were writing individually here, and some of these people wrote to someone else, they wrote to Brookhaven, they were like kind of all over the place with who they were contacting.
They were supposed to put a fence up and do landscaping.
They didn't do that.
Okay.
They definitely didn't do that. But I think, let me see if these residents, let me send them an actual letter and say, let's do this together and see if we could get a little bit more traction. And then I'll make a contact or use Rich's contact and I'll pick this up and and if they can give me the documentation, I think it makes for a good case. And if they don't, then I don't know that we're gonna get further than where we got so far, but it's at least another chance to resolve the issue, address it somehow.
Okay.
This suggestion, by the way, was to kind of wall it off a little bit,
I know,
but they weren't looking to excavate. They said that was a whole other thing, and so.
I know, but when you've got a lot of people saying, I even was thinking about contacting the people, I actually was thinking about contacting the 2 houses on the other side of it, because there's houses on that side of the street, and ask them if they have issues. I mean, it doesn't matter, is that no good?
Well, I mean, they're
I don't see why
not in
not.
the village.
I'm thinking, well, they're not in the village, but they're residents on 25A.
Well,
who have-
this isn't in the village.
Right, well, but they're, the other side's the other side, but who cares?
Right.
Like, let me just contact the people that are on the perimeter there, because you know what, realistically, they might be affected if the New York State Department of Transportation decides to do something. They may be affected, so we may as well give them a heads up too.
I don't see any harm in.
Not the whole
contacting them.
street, just
No.
a couple of houses right by the
Yeah,
pond.
I don't see any. I
Yeah,
think you
okay,
should, yeah.
all right.
Okay, here we go. Chapter 15. Okay, so, chapter 15, all the changes I wanted made last time were made. The only change that I saw that the meeting attendance had to be, was 50%. I thought that we agreed it would be higher, but I'll go, doesn't, you know, whatever everybody else agrees to, I'm fine with. That was the only thing that I saw.
Did we all agree?
We didn't, that's the only, the changes that I asked for and that Chris asked for were in here. And then the only thing I saw is that we changed, it was a percentage, it wasn't a percentage, I think it was something different.
I don't
And it got-
remember us coming to a number, and I had raised the issue of unscheduled absences,
Mhm.
because people do have private lives and things that they know they're not gonna make the meeting, and as long as they submit what they were going to be talking about and have some input and whatever, I would say that that's a different circumstance than someone just not showing up and not even telling us, you know, that kind of thing. So, I don't know if you really want to put that in
So do
there,
you
or
want-
want to just change the amount of allowable absences.
I think you should send them, a notice. I think if you're not gonna be there, if it's like, if
You
it's
would
like,
think-
if it's just an,
Well,
if it's
yeah.
like a sudden emergency that happens, but if you have, so I don't think you need to specify, if it's a sudden emergency, delineate everything. There was a couple of things that I had on this.
Well, you can legislate common sense.
No,
You would think
but
it's
you
common
could,
sense
but
that
you can,
people do
but you
that.
could put it in there and just say within a reasonable, I think a reasonable amount is 24 hours, if at all possible, and just make it a suggestion. You can't let, people aren't gonna do it if they don't want to.
I think you pretty much know when we announce the meeting. When you know, you should let us know, you know what?
Yeah, that's what I'm-
But you know what, if you announce the meeting on X day, yeah, sure, you can't make it, but if you say you're going to and then something comes up, and just maybe 24 hours is a nice goal, maybe?
I mean, it already says a reasonable time in advance of the meeting.
So is reasonable, okay.
I think we should just kind of make it a matter of standard operating procedure, that if somebody says they're not going to make it, the following question is, okay, what would you be reporting on? So that, we have some
But we could still
official
do stuff.
input from them, even if it's, I really didn't have anything specifically I was going to report on.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to put that in code though.
No, I don't think we
I
know.
don't think that needs to be written out here. I think as a reasonable board.
That's a common sense thing, but I'm saying is amongst ourselves, is that we
Do that.
should do that.
So are we okay with the 50%?
I think it should be, I think it should be a little bit more. I think it should be 65 or 70, I think. And I think the other thing that you had was you said it in 50%, but what's the ratio? When do you tally that up? At the end of the year? At the end of the calendar year? At the end of the budget year? Like, where does that
Well, the year goes
number-
from June 1st to May 1st, so it would go with the
So
election.
you would go there at the end of that. So then, I think if you make it like 65%, and then if it's, somebody's at 30, that's terrible, but if they're, I don't know, I think 50's a little too low. I think it should be a little higher.
I mean, I think in the end, the board decides what happens anyway.
Right.
So whatever number you put here, it's
Not-
But
effectively arbitrary.
it's a good goal number, and it's a reasonable goal number. I mean, better than 50%. I think it should be a little bit, the bar should be a little higher than that. Half the time, you should be there, if you're gonna do the job.
Well, these are
you
the
should-
people that are here all
Well,
the
but
time,
I'm just saying,
so-
you should just be there, try to make it better than half the time. Half the time's kind of, if my son
Majority?
goes to.
Majority.
Well, you know what, at 50%, I have to agree, because what she's saying is, the way it's written, it's okay to miss 50% of the time, because you're still here 50% of the time. So depending on how you look at it.
So let's make it
Well, then,
70.
or you
So-
could just say then trustees are expected to attend all meetings. Why not just say that, and then say if you miss a meeting, here's what has to happen. You're expected to attend, we're expected to attend all meetings. That's it.
Yeah, but
I
things
like
do
that.
happen.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We're expected to,
Right.
you know,
There's
so
no-
then just put it there, don't settle for anything less than
Right,
that.
okay.
Expected to attend all, and then if you can't, then we get to decide that, okay, this is out of the code of ethics, you're not making an attempt to attend all meetings, and move on.
I don't know,
But there's no
I
way
like
to
a
move
number.
That's a problem.
I like the
There's
number,
no
I
moving
like,
on.
I like the
Right,
number.
because it's all arbitrary anyway, you know?
All right.
Yeah, do it.
But when we sign that book, you know, we're supposed to make every effort to be at every meeting.
You
So
would
is that
think.
is that whole paragraph gonna get rewritten then? To not say 50%, it's just gonna say they're expected to be there?
Expected to attend all meetings.
We all agree, right?
Yeah.
We agree?
Alright, I like my 65 or 70%, but okay.
All right, was there any?
Wait, yeah, I had
Okay.
a couple of other things, so,
What did someone say? The bar should be here, not here.
okay, so we had like this, there's a lot of like time limits throughout this, as far as like 24 months, blah, 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 blah. But then there's under,
Where are you?
former village officer or employee, any person who held at any time in the past. Do we put a time number on that? It's actually in the definitions, but it comes up again somewhere down where it's kind of an arbitrary number. Do you put, because you've numbered everything else has like 24 months, this month, this, that. Do you put, I mean, if somebody was an employee for the village 40 years ago, is that the same thing as somebody who was an employee for the village a year ago?
Like,
Just
do you have a
wait,
tracking
where are
number
you
or
looking at?
something?
Yeah,
Like
what are you looking-
58, where, do
We're
you know what
talking
you are
about
in there?
disclosure, that's all we're talking about.
Like, is there a definition you're talking
It
about?
was a
particularly?
definition where they were defining what qualified a village officer or employee. And everything else had, hang on, I just erased it.
Former village officer or employee, any person who held at any time in the past any position described in the definition of a village officer or employee.
So does that, there was another one here where it was like a client or customer during the previous 24 months. And then there was another one where they gave outside employee or business village officer or employee.
This is
It's
just
all in the
definitions.
definitions, but
I
they.
guess what's your concern?
I'm just saying that there was a delineation of time with customers, clients, and there wasn't with former village employees. Do we put one in there or just
No, I
doesn't
think if you're a
matter?
former village employee, that's it.
We can
Okay.
disclose it. What really matters is there are certain things that are proscribed. You can't give business to a family member who is in that business or something.
Okay,
So that's cut and dry. So all these other things really might be considered guidelines. And I think it's
Well,
there's
it
nothing wrong
was
with
actually,
being
it was
vague.
actually just in the definition, but it was just that a lot of the definitions
I
had
can't
percentages,
find
they all
it,
had
so.
numbers, and that was the only thing that didn't, so I just wanted to see if we wanted to be consistent. And the only other question, and this is gonna be like, maybe not, the Board of Ethics versus Board of Trustees, is it the same thing?
No, the Board of Ethics is a committee that's formed, but since we're not gonna have a committee, if we had to go to the Board of Ethics, it would be something else.
Okay. That's, I just.
Okay,
didn't
so
understand.
after he makes that change, I'm gonna put this up for final next time we're done,
Okay.
okay? Alright, I
So
don't
that's
really
it.
wanna get into any dirt.
That's it.
Do you wanna just send me what you have, and let's go, in 2 weeks, have another final? Because this could take us 6 hours.
No, I don't want to go over it one by one.
Okay.
I don't, but let me just look at my notes.
Oh,
And
I
see
got a
if-
lot of
See
questions
if
on
there
this.
was anything.
You'll have to table them until next meeting,
Okay.
because there was a lot
Well,
of
it
mistakes.
might be better, because I have a lot of
Four.
questions
Okay.
for Joe.
Well, no. This is a typo. It should be pool, and that would resolve the issue of plumbing
Right.
and pool houses. Okay, so that, we want to make sure is,
If you can give me the written copies like this is the best way.
okay.
Mhm.
And if you don't understand
Yeah.
what, see, this is formatting.
I was just gonna scan it and some,
There's
make
a-
sure.
there's a
that
lot of-
This
everything
this was a
got
big one. This is why I didn't want to move forward. The whole table is missing.
done. Okay,
So we have to have that in there, if this is gonna go over to the county, we have
Mhm.
to have all that stuff, so maybe that was just the office omissions.
right,
But I'll give you, I'll make, you can have all this stuff,
okay,
I'm not gonna give you my copy.
I'll make a copy after the
This is
meeting.
like hours.
yeah, I know. I'll take it after the meeting and then
We'll make copies.
we'll do it for the next one,
Okay.
okay?
Can I get, and then the other thing, I was trying to like just catch myself up, because it talks about the zoning areas and stuff, and there's a map.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so is that something I can come and look at, is that,
Joe's got it.
can I?
That was never in the code though, right, Joe?
No, it doesn't go
The
in.
map was never in the code.
But it's written in here.
Oh, you're talking about zone A, B,
Zones,
C?
yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
that.
that's in there.
It is, that's in there, but should I, can I see it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got it.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
not in this, so it should be. We had a table,
Yeah.
and then the map, I don't remember the map.
The map
Saying we
wasn't
had
there,
but
it said,
should be
no,
in
it said in
so-
parentheses, the map is available somewhere
Somewhere
else.
at- yeah.
The table
The map's
says,
like-
table is, see table
You wouldn't be able
in
to
the
get,
document.
you wouldn't be able to read it,
The
it'd be this
map-
big.
The map is, reference
No, that was
somewhere.
my recollection. I
Yeah,
thought
but
you
the
said that it
table
wasn't.
is supposed to be in there,
Right.
you're right.
And then,
So this whole thing's getting revisited?
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
and then also, this
Well,
is.
ideally, if you're gonna give the mayor, and then you're gonna work through it, it'd be awesome if we could have that worked through copy.
That's what we're gonna,
Okay.
That would be the
Before-
final one.
Before the meeting.
That's the one.
Before the
that we-
meeting.
If we all get it and can agree on it, then at the next meeting, you can just move forward.
right.
I have a lot of questions on it though.
Well, you can, we'll all be on email and then you can be sending
Yeah.
it, but this is the best way, the easiest way with the written copy to get it.
Okay.
correct. Yeah,
Or
and
I
then you
can
could be
just
sending
take,
it.
whatever it is, if you have some specific questions on it, because I didn't write anything new. It was mostly just trying to make.
No,
it
those are questions that we've either maybe covered already that you don't realize.
No,
that
I want, there's like the misdemeanor stuff and the search warrants, I think they're vague and I want more. I have questions for Joe, I emailed
Right,
him.
okay.
And I want like specific answers to that.
But he's not here, so we have to
Right,
do it
so we
next
can
meeting.
do it next time, but we're gonna do it next time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
But as part of the revision of 183, there was this, and this is the.
that's the next one, okay.
Yeah, this is it. That's the
Okay.
whole thing. Instead of being one page, chapter 35, it's 2 pages.
Okay,
And all I did-
you already redid this?
Yeah, that's,
Oh.
well, all I did was I pulled out, I added this section over here because it's in the town code page.
Okay.
And it is relevant to us.
Okay,
And so all the dimensions of signs and whatnot is taken from the town code page and code. So all it is adding this and taking this out of, from 183, since we already had advertising, it's got advertising and signs.
okay, so if you, I'll take a copy of that tonight and I'll,
Okay, thank you.
all right, because then I'll scan it and email it to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so, and then also we have to redo the peddling law. Okay, so I got a call from the mayor of Ashroken, and they also have to redo their peddling law, like many other villages. There's a county in Nassau that got a peddling law passed, and Ashroken, Northport, and some other village, they're all taking they're just copying theirs. So, I'm gonna have Joe Poquott reach out to, either the mayor at Ashroken or the attorney to get a copy of what they're gonna do. Okay, and then that will save you some time, because it's already been tested. If they weren't able, the court said it's good,
Okay,
and so
that's
we're gonna
what
be
I'm
using the
saying.
same
So
one.
we've had a legal opinion on it, and it
Yep.
would satisfy both of them.
Yep, so,
Well, we had, when we had an open discussion about this, that the residents were kind of divided
mhm.
on some of that stuff, so we're gonna have to have another discussion and have everybody on the same page about it, because
Well,
I for one don't
it'll be
wanna
a
see-
draft copy that we can take and we can tailor it to our village, but we know the